Ah, you have decided to join us. And here we thought you were going to spend the rest of your stay in your chambers. Ha! 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 Your decision pleases us, as did your gifts. For a Cainite of your age, you are a good guest, given the circumstances of your arrival. I will request that you sit over here. This is some of my finest work. The fabric is made of newborn and calf, bathed daily in buffalo milk for a year and a day. Add this to your dictionary of tactile sensations. You will not get to feel something like this in your new world. That one, no. Do not sit there, that one is still setting. Oh, I will know it is fully set and functional when it stops moaning. That is when I will know the physical pain has subsided, and it will not swell nor fester, but retain its form. Ha! 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 For now, it is best left undisturbed. You are undoubtedly thinking about the tree, yes? I call it the Tree of Knowledge. I have spent countless nights on this one. It is made of 13 Caine, but there is a catch. It bears fruit. Reach behind the hanging hair. Yes, child, you see? An apple. Have a taste. Ha! 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 You are quite perceptive. It is blood wine, child. I am surprised you know the taste, but this lets us know you are doing your research. You are experimenting. Good. For I can only show you what it is and what materials I used. I cannot tell you how it's done. Ha! 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 Why? Because we have been deceived, child, time and time again. We trust no one. Now come closer, we wish to feel you. Yes, our eyes are decorative. We have given up sight for almost half a century. We were relying on it too often. Ah, we like what we are feeling. Splendid shaping on the osseous frames and the carvings on it. I can tell this took months to finalize. The pouch is a little vulgar for our taste, but well built and long-lasting. Ha! 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 You have my respect, hatchling. Why do we trust no one, you ask? Why do we not share knowledge? Well, since this has nothing to do with the art of shaping, I guess one little morsel of lore will do for such a skilled artisan and well-mannered guest. It is said that the eldest of our blood, left Enoch and settled in the lands of his child Yorak, long before the deluge and the slaying of the second generation. For you see, our progenitor sought transcendence, something that cannot be found in the hedonistic and petty pursuits of the other clans, nor in their mortal-inspired moral constraints. And of Caine, as much as he rebelled against he who cursed him, he accepted his curse all the same. Weakness, child, ignorance. But we know, you know, Caine is not the example to follow. Some think he cursed us with our shared weakness. Ha! 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 Not so, child. Caine never cursed us, for you see, the eldest did not take part in the murder of the second generation. He was here, in the old country, cradling his transcendence. And when those other bloodsuckers decided to drop by, uninvited, unannounced, to feed on our herd and walk our lands, we impaled them in forests of spikes, to let them know they were rude. So Caine asked our eldest to be more welcoming to his supposed brothers and sisters, which is exactly what he did, and what we all have done out of respect for him. Ha! 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 The real curse was when the eldest was offered slavery, as if it were transcendence, his vampiric condition, the chains of blood that now bind us all. That was our first betrayal. It is undeniable that the entity known as Kupala resides still within the Carpathians. It is old. We ourselves do not understand its origin or the reason for its imprisonment or its conflict with the Lupines. We also don't know what rites of worship it preferred during those initial encounters. What we know is Kupala called out to our eldest and gave it gifts in exchange for liberation. Ha! 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 It is hard to comprehend how the spine of the Carpathians is not a suitable home for it. But alas, it is not. So the eldest helped this entity, for their goals were similar. One sought an escape from undead flesh and chains of blood, and another saw an escape from cold ground. Whatever happened during those times, we know not. What we know is Kupala was supposedly released, at least in part. And for our eldest's hard work, the prize was another betrayal. It was not Caine, but Kupala, who cursed our blood with dependence on soil, almost as if saying, "If you think I am better now after you've helped me, then take my place and feel my pain." Or so we think. Why else would Yorak turn himself into a cathedral of flesh, child? Does that sound like transcendence to you? Becoming a piece of the architecture of those times? It doesn't to us. We have spent decades in various shapes of inanimate objects. There is no transcendence to be gained there, only lessons in patience and meditation. No, child, driven mad by Kupala, Yorak sought to become its new vessel, giving it a reliquary to its liking. We were driven mad. That was our second betrayal. Our third betrayal would be one of our own making. Ha! 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 The sacred fire flower found by Lugoj and Velia, the birth of Voldry and birth of the Sabbat, the anarch revolt, the destruction and rebirth of our eldest, the eating of our own childer, the eating of our elders, even our so-called path to transcendence. Lies, young dragon, all lies, meant to spread the infection that is Kupala and the mad elders of our clan, which have become one with it. Vicissitude and coldunism. Lies, more prisons to anchor us to this rotting, dying world and its monsters. Prisons of body, prisons of spirit, prisons of mind, prisons for entire sects and cultures. Prisons, child. Tell me, do you feel closer to transcendence yet? Ha! 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 We do not celebrate Kupala's night and freedom, young dragon. We reenact our betrayal and the banishing and vengeance upon that entity. Its spirits poison the land on that night. We make the ground run red with blood, and then they take physical substance, the spawn of Kupala, and we descend upon them in ravenous frenzy and tear them apart, removing their taint from the land so that it may be free and untainted once more. Does that sound like a ritual of worship or adoration to you? I have read the Phrygian codexes you have brought as gift to me. We did not deceive. They were to our liking, because they told us exactly what not to do. Do you think feeding immediately as you feel hunger will somehow help you transcend your need for blood? Do you think denying any vestige of pleasure is something a god would do? Perhaps you agree with driving yourself mad, compulsively shaping yourself every night for not a single good reason. On sharing knowledge, yes, I do agree it should be done carefully, preferably not at all, but not for mystical reasons, not for the sake of empirical experimentation, but because we have been betrayed over and over again, and we are lucky to be here, unlike Saulot's progeny or Cappadocius's blood. Heretic. Yes, child, heretic I am. And I doubt you even know what heresy means. Heresy means choice. It is not the equivalent of blasphemy, young dragon. So pull the tail out of your mouth and listen to me. The transcendence our eldest sought will not be found in a cathedral of flesh, or in the power of Kupala's fire flower, or even in the sanctity of the Volderi and the auctoritas rite of the Sabbat. It will be found in solitude, in a shape that not only adapts, but transcends its bonds. A shape that will put the howls of the beast to rest. A new shape that is not of body, child, but of mind and soul. If you still think metamorphosis can be achieved through vicissitude alone, you are being deceived, child. Ha! 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 But you are my guest, and we have lost our temper. We should ask for your forgiveness, but we will not, for we don't need it. We need nothing from you or this world. We seek transcendence. Let our temper teach you that voivodes and dragons stop at nothing, regret nothing, believe no one, expect from no one, and can be stopped by nothing. We could even throw you out right now, but then everything goes back to the way it was, and you will have learned nothing. We offer you wholeheartedly our true hospitality. Ha! 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 Normally, You'd leave in another 2 nights. Our clan etiquette dictates it. But if you can stomach our heresies and blasphemies, if you are ready to leave the stereotypes, indoctrination, and pleasantries behind, pull the tail out of your mouth and stay with us as long as you can bear.